little day paddle today. Fathom 5 National Marine Park. And we're just going to go for a tour and see what the park has to offer. It's pretty good kayaking for a non-coastal area, Mainland Lake. The Great Lakes are pretty good kayaking, and northern Georgian Bay here is pretty much as good as it gets. Anyway, the first stop will be the village of Tobermory.
Baby, let me follow you down. Baby, let me follow you down. Yes, I'd do anything in this God almighty world if you just let me follow you down. Can I come home with you? Can I come home with you? Yes, I'd do anything in this God almighty world if you just let me come home with you.
There's a two-masted boat. Wooden masts. Huh. Wow. I can't tell if that's just a seriously old boat or a retro kind of design. Very nice. This is the sole remaining fishing boat in Tobermory. There used to be a fleet, but that's the last one there. You'll see it out in the water, but not very often. That houseboat there is called the Iron Maiden. I think there's going to be some Maiden on the soundtrack of this video. I'm just editing it. Definitely. That. Sign. So this is a big kayak rental spot, but in recent years, of course, people want to rent jet skis. Who wants a friggin' kayak? It's just not happening. The jet ski is the only way to go. And in truth, you know, these are big waters. The spaces are wider, the waves are bigger. And to a certain extent, the jet ski is a solution to that, not just a toy. Okay, well, that completes the tour of the harbor. So, just rounding the point here, this is the Cape Hurd channel. And we're going to jump across the channel. That's Russell Island in the distance, a bit to the right. We're going to jump across the channel. Not quite to Russell Island. We're going to try to go around Double Island first, and then back to Russell. So yeah, on the left you can see a lot of the foreshore is exposed. And you know, for years, Great Lakes water levels have been low-ish. Some years they're high, but a lot of years they've been low. And this year is no exception. I mean, this is about the lowest ever. There's like at least 2 to 3 feet of that foreshore, which doesn't have any plants on it because it's normally been underwater. Way in the distance, the small island, that's Devil Island. I'm going to try to just loop around back of it. That'll be my farthest west. So the sort of seascape around Devil Island, which is more towards the Lake Huron side, is a lot flatter and shallower. And on this side, in back of the island, there's like a reef that extends out like 100 meters or so. And that'll kick up some pretty big swells and shallow water in between the swells. Oh, there's one there. I don't want to hit that. Yikes. Ahead of us is Russell Island. And that'll be the first break where I can get out of the kayak and stretch my legs a bit. Unlike canoeing, in the kayak, you're really kind of stuck in the cockpit and you can't change position at all. So you need, every hour or two, kind of a quick shore break. Stretch everything out. There's a good spot on Russell Island for that. There's a bit of a cove in here. You used to be able to paddle right up to the end of it, but the water level is way down, so I don't know how far I can get. There's a bit of a channel. Gonna be shallow. I think I can squeeze through. Oh, yikes. Of course, this is a plastic kayak. Unlike my canoe, I can hit a few. More than a few. And not be too concerned. If I can just get over this hump here. Oh darn, there's a rock in the middle. Oh, I see it to the right. There's a slight gap there. If I can just get through it. And the rest of the inlet is open. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. quite the scenic spot in here. I suppose that pile of sticks just might be a beaver dam, beaver lodge, I mean. Hell of a long way from shore for the beavers to be colonizing, but who knows? I think I'm gonna see if I can pull out at this beach and take a break. About here. Oh, this looks good. It's always an athletic maneuver getting out of this thing after you've been sitting for an hour or two. Everything's just stiff and kind of cramped. Okay. See if I can pull the kayak up on these rocks a bit. There. Plastic kayak. So convenient. All right, well, look at this. There's a bit of a stealth camp here. Old fire pit, a grill, chairs to sit, well, stone seating. I was in here years ago and there was a little spot in back here that was cleared. I don't know if it's still here. So you could set up your tent and camp. Yeah, this was kind of the space here, but the deadfalls have accumulated again. And I don't think anyone's been here for years, decades even. But yeah, there's a super little bed of moss here. I mean, and there is still room for one tent. So yeah, people have camped here in the past. I don't know quite what the rules are. I know they have camping on Flower Pot Island. This is Russell Island, so I do not know exactly what the rules are here that govern this. I'm just here for a break, stretch the legs, and then we'll be back in the boat. I got the Farmer John wetsuit on here. You know, the temperatures are cooler and the lake water's cooling off than it has been in the peak of the midsummer heat. But it's a real production to take a piss with all this stuff on. right, ready to roll. Oh, oh yeah, love the plastic boat. Rocks are just not an issue. And there's not much style in paddling a lump of plastic. It sure is practical. Okay, this is the last obstacle here. Clean getaway. Open water. So that's one of the dive boats there. There's a wreck right there where it's visitors out here in back of Russell Island. So another little reef here, not as big as Devil Island, but I just got to circle a bit. Island is going to be the Otter Islands and Cove Island itself. So Cove Island is the massive land occupying most of the land, and in the foreground up towards the right just past that buoy are the Otter Islands. Oh, there goes a couple of ducks. Might have caught that. Just entering the Otter Channel here. Deep water, there's no reefs in here, so it's actually marked on the charts as a passable channel. Just on the left is Cove Island, just the edge of what is a very large island. I'm just going to swing by and tag it. One day, I'm going to paddle around that island, but it won't be this year.
Don't pay to waste away, can't see
tag it on the way by.
Something to see on Cove Island. Turquoise blue from the island view. See Lake Huron shining through. Something to see from Cove Island. Something to see that seems to make life worthwhile. Something to see that makes a poor man want.
Just up at the end of Cove Island, which will be no more than a few pixels on the GoPro, is the lighthouse. It's not in sight yet, but there right up ahead is Echo Island, and that's the northern turnaround. Oh, good look at the ferry. Oh, maybe. No, I did not time this. I didn't check the schedule before I left, but I don't think I've had such a good look at the ferry in recent times. Now there was one real fun moment. I was out on a foggy day. Sometimes you get these fogs all over the northern part of the lake, and I heard the ferry in the distance, and I was more or less in the path as it was approaching the town dock of Tobermory. So yeah, I paddled like Adam friggin' Van Hooverden, possibly faster on that day. It's a clear day. The Cove Island light probably shows up as a few pixels. I'm going to zoom the hell out of this shot and see what we see. There's some really cool cliffs on the north side of Otter Island here, like this thing. There's a little cove here, and if the water's not too choppy, you can get out here, which I will try to do. It could be a little bit of a game, but I'm gonna see if I can manage it here without flipping the boat. Yeah, maybe I can just tuck it right in this little corner. Probably the easiest. Okay. Yeah, this should be an easy place to get out. Little stones are just like ball bearings. Cool little lagoon here. It's exposed to the north, so on a lot of windy days, of course, you could never land here. But when the wind's blowing from the southwest, it works. Yeah. Now, the cool thing about this lagoon here, I saw it on a previous paddle, is I think there's a building up in here. How can I get up there? Is it right here? Yeah, there it is there. I mean, the front step here is not exactly welcoming, but you can kind of get up in here. And there was a cabin here. It's a hell of a place for a cabin, like exposed to every northwest gale, which in the winter, you get some serious gales from the north. And you know, you could be stuck for days. This little beach would just get pounded by massive waves. You could never launch a boat. But somebody went and built a cabin here. There's some milled lumber, but this is like the wherever they milled this, they kept the outside edge. They didn't, you know, all the edges of the log were kept and used, which is cool. I've never seen lumber like that before. The roof fell in years ago. There's some old shingles. Still intact. Yeah, look at this. This comes from a sawmill. This is the edge of the log that they kept. Wow. And on the back side, it's actually still very solid. In good shape. Well, that is cool, I have to say. And there's no clue what the hell it's doing here. Let me just check my boat. Yep, all right. I think we can go in. This is the doorway here. And there's I wonder if that's an old stove. Gosh, there's nails everywhere, so I have to be a little bit careful where I step. I suspect that is the remnants of an old stove there. Real mystery, but a hell of a place to hang out. By winter or summer. And yeah, this front step here, I mean, well, I can't imagine what the thinking was, because it's like very difficult to negotiate. Okay, let's grab a quick water break, and then we'll be on our way. Water in the boat. It's time to get rid of that. Okay. Try to do this in reverse. Sink in the boat. All right. The next stop, Flower Pot Island. So that's it right there, just across the way. There aren't any big cliffs on this side of Flower Pot, or not much. But you get these stone beaches that are, you know, 6 or 8 feet of vertical, where the waves in the storms that come out of the north in the winter just pile up the rocks. I think I'm going to try to land here and take a short break. Stretch my legs. One more time. There's a bit of a harbor here where it's convenient to get out. Okay, yeah, a little more convenient landing spot. This flat rock here, so I don't have to slip and fall on those ball-bearing pebbles. Okay. And yeah, it'll be time for a bit of a lunch. The lunch is stashed in this forward compartment. It's a bit drier. The back one is always flooding. So, got here. Real treat. Burnt fry bread. And used pizza. Today's lunch. That's all I had. That'll be good. I was just about to launch and film the launching. Holy shit. That's the problem. You don't want to be caught close to shore when those boats go by. It's nuts. Just nuts. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. I probably have 15 minutes. There's a really cool little cove here on the north shore of Tobermory Island. It's part of the park now, and I don't really know the history of it, but I believe it may have been a lifeguard or shipwrecking and lifeguarding rescue kind of a station, where they'd have rowboats they could launch in the event of a storm that was wrecking a ship anywhere in these northern group of little islands off the main shoreline. That's just my guess. It's been all fixed up now as part of the park, and you can just walk over from the main tour boat landing and have a look at them up close. All right, it's time now for the ceremony of the changing of the hat. The last leg is going to be into the wind and into the sun, and this little hat's not going to cut it. I have to put on this goofy looking hat, the chin strap. I'm going to be exiting from the wind shadow in just a few minutes, so I want to have this kind of ready. Like so. Put away the hat, the little hat. And up we go. I can smell the weed like hundreds of meters away. There's been some masonry on the left side to shore it up a little bit and keep it from falling over. right offshore. Prevailing winds around here are southwest, so this is a little unusual. But being a south wind, the open reach of water is at a minimum. And it's about 4 kilometers to the mainland over there. Alright, we are back at land. I took a bit of extra effort there. That wind was straight on. Kayak handles a lot better when the wind is sort of on the quarter, but punching straight into it like that is always a workout. Got the ferry coming up on me on its return leg, which is about 4 hours since I last saw it. See if we just round this little island here, I might get a shot of it. Oh, got a bit of a low spot there. I think I can just drag over it. This is exceptional. Okay. Let's drag over this. Way. Okay. Now that will be a tiny speck, but that is the ferry on its return leg. All right, back in. I left at 11, 7 hours. About an hour worth of breaks. It actually took me a little longer than I thought it would. I haven't done that particular route in its entirety. Great way to finish it today.